I do a lot of animal stuff because it's animal stuff that I'm interested in.
Jane Moore is one of the designers and potters at Made in Jerome. It's a pottery shop at the very end of Main Street, named after the city in which it resides, Jerome, Arizona. Jane came to the small art town in the early 1970s.
One of the things that I noticed when I first moved here long ago, that there were just so many really strong women that were active in the town and doing their own thing, and it's just really inspiring to me.
But it wasn't always so. Jerome used to be considered one of the most wicked towns in the Wild West. By the 1950s, its population dwindled to less than 100 people. But a turnaround came in 1967. The town was granted National Historic Landmark status, and town leaders began hosting music festivals, historic home tours, and other celebrations to attract visitors and businesses. Made in Jerome was opened by David Hall in 1972, and it got a feminine touch 8 years later when Jane began sculpting and painting designs on the pottery.
I like motion of horses and kitties and frogs and lizards and rattlesnakes and all that kind of stuff.
Drawing on wildlife as an inspiration during her horseback rides.
I get off and walk with the horse and look at lizards and look at cactus and take pictures of birds' nests.
Jane's love of drawing animals started at a young age.
Draw pictures of my mom in the kitchen, pictures of my dog, pictures of horses. I had family that had horses.
Leading her to focus this passion into a career.
Chicago Academy of Fine Art, mostly focused on design and painting.
For more than 35 years now, Jane and David have been creating this unique pottery from the ground up.
First you dig the clay, we haul it in here.
Followed by a process of separating dirt and rocks from the clay.
We mix it in a 50-gallon drum, stir it with a shovel, pour it through a screen. When there's enough of the native clay to mix up a batch of clay, it gets mixed with really fine sand and some fire clay, so that it can be fired to stoneware temperature.
Then firing the pottery in a kiln until it's dry. That's when Jane gets to put her personal touch on the piece, painting her own designs. But the work's not over yet.
Then it gets fired for the final time, the glaze fire.
The finished product is durable stoneware pottery that the buyer can use in their daily lives. While both men and women buy Jane's pottery, she says female customers do tend to be drawn to some of her pieces.
And it's not just women that like this stuff, but I would say it's mostly women that buy my horse pottery.
Whether stopping into Made in Jerome or another shop in town, Jane says it's a female-friendly place for women to visit.
Absolutely, absolutely. There are a lot of women, really creative women that do their own, have their own businesses or make stuff at home. Lots of jewelers, woodworkers, potters.